time to go.
On you go.
Right?
So when the other four realise, when it comes to go, because the dance would finish, these other two couples now are going to go their separate ways. And the couple that I know say, we'll give you a lift home, because it was on their way, or they could go that way. And then your man says, where do you live then? And I tell him and them, and he says, I live at the top of that street. I share with Mrs. So-and-so. I'm a boarder there, and I have been for so many months, I can't remember. I'll take you home. Well, I think to myself, this is good. And the others all start laughing, the other four, and they said, wait till you see the car he's going to take you in. Well, I can't do anything, can I? I say, oh, that'll be all right. I should like that. I'm sure if he's got to go past where I live, it's all right. Well, when we get out there, it's the oldest, and I've got a photo of it somewhere, but I'd have to look. It's the oldest looking thing altogether. So he leads me to it now, and brave as ever, willing, He opens the door, the passenger door in the front now. It's a 4-seater, and he lifts it open like that, and I cautiously get in, and he says, be careful how you tread, there's a gap in the floorboards there. But I get in, and he has to shut it was fastened with a cable wire, Anyhow, it went, he got in and put me off where I lived, and there was no good night kiss or anything like that. No, I wasn't playing cheap like that. And he drove off. But then, from time to time, I would see him drive past. And it went on and on and on from there. And I was very wary to begin with, because I knew I had seen him in the main street once or twice. Now, he didn't work for the post office then, he worked for a firm with whom he had worked in Ireland, and they had sent him out. But I had seen him with an older lady in another car. But anyhow, it progressed. And years before, you see, I'd met a soldier. This was before I joined the service. I'd met a soldier. He had come to church at the Methodist church that I belonged to. And where there was a congregation of troops in a village or a town or something, and they went to church. The parishioners would try and welcome them and ask them to the home. Sometimes evacuees, soldier husbands came to visit, so everything was, we do the best for all of you. And this fella had stood beside me, we shared a hymn book, and he took a shine to me. So I thought, this is lovely. And we did have a kind of understanding between us. But then I went to join the ATS. He went, one of those troops that went to North Africa, and from then on, and well, it goes on. That's all before, you see. So I'm a bit wary about the other thing, but then I get to like him really and truly.
And you got married.
And the bar to it all was that I wasn't a Catholic. So I said to him one day about going to his church, and he didn't like the idea at all. And we're getting closer and closer together. And in those days we wore lovely long dresses for dancing, and sometimes I went with somebody else and saw him with somebody else. Mm-hmm. But then after a bit I am going along with him, and we're a pair kind of thing, but still I am going to the Church of England. So I said to him, take me. I saw where he went on Sunday afternoons, went to, what do we have on Sunday afternoons? We don't have it now.
Benediction.
Benediction. Mm-hmm. I love benediction. Mm-hmm. I like the incense. Mm. I like the singing. I've got a book, still have it, Latin and English, mm-hmm. learned Paternosters. And I wasn't getting anywhere. Mm-hmm. So I got to know some friends of his, and I suppose I in my own mind I knew what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So one day I asked one of these girls, I rang her up and asked her if I could have an afternoon tea with her. Will you come to tea with me for the afternoon, and you could have a slap-up tea with nice food in a hotel, mm-hmm. quite near. And she came, and she knew me through being with Frank, and I said to her, well, that's the trouble. I think I'd like to be a Catholic, and he won't bother with me at all. He won't help me at all, because he doesn't think I could go the length. He said, there's a catechism which I'd have to learn. Mm-hmm. She says, I'll see what I can do. So she went to a priest and got a meeting for me, and I think I did catechism for 9 months. Mm-hmm. Frank had a friend who shared this car, and it was even worse when I explain it now. There was no window in the back. The glass was gone. That front door, that hole in the floor where my feet should have done, another floorboard went. So I had to be astride like that. I would go in, I would open the door with the wire or whatever it was. It was wire after a bit. Kneel on the seat like this. Put one foot down there. Put that one over there. Lower myself carefully. And say, right, with the feet up. There were times I had a beautiful white cloquet, it was called, evening dress. I really felt like the queen in it. Long and lovely. If it rained, I had to put my feet up in the glove box with a dress. It wasn't inducive of courting at all. The back seat would come forward. We knew two other people. I had a friend, and he had a friend. And they used to sit in the back seat. Mm-hmm. We three of us smoked. Dorothy didn't smoke. You could wind the window down and throw the butt over on the side. And sometimes the battery didn't go, and I used to push him. Yes. Push him. If we couldn't find an African on the side of the road and offer him a bribe to push with me in it, well, I would push him. We saved up. And before we got married, we got to meet somebody who worked in a garage, and it was all Ford cars that were sold there. And there was this car called a Ford Prefect, and I remember the number. it's amazing the few things I remember. I remember my army number. I could say that backwards, frontwards, and so on. And I remember the number of this car. It was H9354, and we bought it between us. I had saved some money, thinking that maybe something would happen, and even if I didn't, I still owed my father £100 because he supplied the bond, and I got Frank to. So we bought it between us. Mm-hmm. So we were able to part, and I think we sold it to an Indian for £20.
How much did you buy it for?
Oh well, I don't. He bought it with somebody else, and not much more than that, I don't think.
Very good.
Yes.
What year did you get married then?
1951. We were married in 1951.
That's the year I was born.
I wanted to be married before I was 30, you see, because it was getting on. And I was 9 months older than he was. I wanted to be married before.
What date? What's that?
3rd of February. 3rd of February 1951.
What chapel? Where did you get married at? What chapel?
We got married in the Holy something Catholic Church. By this time, I forgot to tell you that bit. I got received into the church on the 24th of December 1949. So I was 9 months between the time of learning. I particularly loved the fact that the second one, What is Grace? That one day, Frank would come and wait for me, because I would go in after work, you see. And he had a mate who shared the car as well. And they said to me this day when I come out, what did you learn today? I said, I learned, what is grace? And this other Irish fellow, real nice man, he had 6 children. They all came out in 2 halves. The boys came out and then the girls came out with the mother. What was his name now? They came to Western Australia. Anyhow, I can't remember that one. He said, I'll tell you what grace is. And I said, all right, because I'm memorising it as it is in the catechism. I've still got that catechism. I'm a terrible one for hoarding. Grace is stuff that you get after you cook bacon. I always giggled at it whenever I had to say it to the priest. Grace is the stuff that you cook the bacon in.
Grace.
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 Supernatural gift of God that gives us all our virtues.
Yeah.
Grace is a supernatural gift of God. That's in my catechism. These are the things, remember, finished now.
Go ahead, you come away. And you say you were married in 1951, and then many of the children were born over in Nairobi.
5.
5 of them.
No, 4.
Four.
I've only got 5.
No,
4 were born in Nairobi.
And then say Mena was born in the Mid-Ulster Hospital.
There's another bit that's worth putting in. We went on. My mother sent us £20, which was heaps really. We had a nice little wedding. I lived in a small boarding house. Those were the times when you couldn't have food before breakfast. The lady that ran this boarding house wanted to give me breakfast in bed. We were married at 8 o'clock in the morning. And somebody else was married at 7 o'clock. I made my own dress because I was sharing a room with a girl who was had done time in a fashion house in London, so she knew a bit about things, and between us we managed to hire a sewing machine, and she helped me. Frank had a new suit.
Your dress was
So
your dress was hardly a white long one or anything like that, not in those days.
Well, that one would have done, but it wasn't.
No.
This was a kind of lace.
Yes.
Apricot.
Who was your bridesmaid or bride?
She was a girl that I'd worked with in Egypt, in Cairo. We had shared a room. She was a staff sergeant. I was a sergeant. And we had kept
What was her name?
together. She was called Mimi.
Mm-hmm.
Mimi.
And who?
M-I-M-I.
Mimi who? You remember her saying
I
it?
can't remember.
And who was your best? Who was his best man?
I couldn't
Somebody
remember.
else,
No, I
no,
can't
some
remember
not.
his name either. Big tall fella.
Was he Irish? Do you think? Or not necessarily?
I think his mother might have been.
You didn't go. You didn't go on a honeymoon at all, did you?
Yes, we had a week at a place called Brackenhurst. Now, Brackenhurst was a drive up into the mountains, and it was a really super place altogether. We had a room for a week, and what I forgot to tell you before was Frank loved to play golf, and although he had only a couple of golf sticks of any kind, he would go with the other friends who did, and I would tag along sometimes, and if we weren't in sight of the golf house, he'd say, "Have a go, have a go," and I wasn't very good at it, but I couldn't keep away from him because I liked him. That was Sunday afternoons or Saturday afternoons. So when we went to this place called Brackenhurst, the golf clubs went. He had a few better ones by this time. We are there in a lovely hotel, nice food, and how do I explain this to you? My period happened before I was married, just before. And I'm hardly clean by the Tuesday, and we married on Saturday morning. That night, he gets into bed first. I cross the room at a leap and fall and break his wrist. It wasn't a good night. He drove me into the hospital the next day. I had to take the wedding ring off. I had a x-ray and whatever, take the wedding ring off. Mrs. McMullan, Pearl McMullan, I don't move. I haven't got used to being called Pearl McMullan. I'm in hospital for the night. Come out with a plaster. He had to wash my smalls because an African wouldn't wash a woman's knickers. We're sharing a house with somebody else. Have that plaster on for 6 weeks. I can only type with this hand and do, shift key kind of thing. Would that do?
Where was Frank working at when you got married? Was he in the post office then, was he?
No.
She said that already.
No, he didn't get to the post office then.
She said he was working with some firm that he'd worked with in Ireland.
But,
and they had sent him out.
yeah, I could say this to you. He had asked for holidays for this honeymoon, and at the last, and he got paid every 2 weeks, and he expected that they would honour that so we could go on the honeymoon, and they said to him no, they couldn't spare him, so he resigned. And I was on, because I had signed for 3 years as a single girl, I had to give my notice in and be taken on as a temporary in a different, you sign forms and all kinds of things. So he didn't have any money. He was on the dole, and so was I. To get
I
back.
could waste time on.
And when did you leave Kenya? What year did you leave to come to Australia?
Or where we left to go back home to Wales
Yeah.
in 19. They got it's 1961. We left in 61, just before Christmas, and that's. My memory's going a bit now. I've got 5 children, haven't I? And we leave. The 2 little girls. We had big send off. The 2 little girls had great dresses. With buttons down the front. They didn't mind to begin with, but it used to save time if I bought enough to make 2 dresses the same. And I'd cut out a dress, I cut out the little dresses on a Monday. By Tuesday I'd have the bodices made. By Wednesday and Thursday I'd get Wigan the next Saturday. I used to think, when I was a girl, I had 1 dress a year, a new one. 1 dress a year. Well, you wore uniform to school, you see, but the dress for Sundays, it got a mite smelly after a bit. Got to get washed. Yeah. 19. And we left there for good in 61. Did I say that, or 51?
No,
61, you said.
61. Because they got
Independence.
independence.
So you came home you thought you were coming home to live in Wales, wasn't that right?
I didn't particularly want to live in Wales. If Frank had found a job in Ireland, and I would have liked that. Because he used to tell me all about, we'd had a few holidays, we'd been over. Remember the potato house? And I used to get over that, if there was nobody about, I used to get over that 5-bag gate without opening it, because you could go over and get the legs over. I was pretty agile. Used to play hockey. Used to run away sometimes if I didn't want to get caught.
So
Yes.
So you built a home in Wales, didn't you?
Hey?
You got a home built in Wales, didn't you? Huh? Your brother built it for you, didn't he?
Yes. He had picked out. We had a doctor's place there. Doctors were always somebody in a village, and the doctor had a nice big house, and there was a doctor's rooms, and there were 2 or 3 people, doctors, you know. Some were there temporary and moved on to better places, but it was a good area, and it was flat, and it was half of the doctor's ground, and there were oh dear, there were five fruit trees. 5, yes. There was a plum. We only ever had, well, I was only there 3 years. We only ever had a few fruit on that. And there was a pear. There was brown pears, you know. And there were 4 apple trees in this area. So half of his orchard we bought. I think it was 1,000. We had money to go. I think we paid 1,000 for it. And we came to an agreement with the doctor who wanted to sell, that my brother, we would have a right of way to go in and out, which would be pebbled. And there were gates, big gates, I think, so we would be private. My father and mother liked that very much. We could see the mountain that side and the mountain back this side. Doctor didn't have a garage. My brother would build a double garage, handed kind of thing, you know, and that was the doctor's and this was ours, for free, outside the 1,000 kind of thing. Took 5 months.
What part of Wales was that in, Great Pearl? Part of Wales did you live in?
In Monmouthshire.
Monmouthshire.
Gwent. No,
Gwent.
it's called Gwent.
Uh-huh.
Gwent.
So you stayed there for only 3 years
That's right.
and then decided to come.
Well, in that time, Frank looked for a job for a month, for more than a month, 6 months I think. We had that much leave, you see, so he could get around and went over to Ireland a couple of times. And I think Granny went down to Dublin to see if there was a job down there. But the firm he used to work for, and I can't remember, but it was telephones inside a building. I'm sure they'd be still around now. Oh no, they wouldn't now. Everything is gone too. But they were for a long time. He applied to various other things, but nothing ever suited him. And Granny went down to Dublin to see if there was anything going down there. There were some relations down there.
Of course, her brothers were down
Yes.
there. Her brother.
And there were those nice people that we went to see. Mrs. or somebody there that Frank had known very, very much, for a very long time, when he was a soldier down there, you see. Frank was a soldier.
That's what I thought he was. I certainly
All to do with
Yeah.
Morse. He could do Morse.
right.
He was in the Irish Army, was he? Yes.
Yes.
For a short time, wasn't it?
Which wasn't the army as far as I was concerned.
No.
They didn't do any damn fighting, did they?
no.
Yeah.
That's what I thought he was.
But there it was, who didn't talk about these things. Oh yes. So there was no good. So he, and then my brother had given us the idea that he knew plenty of people who would give Frank a job, because my brother was in business by this time. My brother was an artful dodger of a fellow. Loved, very loving, loved the kids.
Was he married himself? Or?
He married.
Yeah,
He married a very nice lady.
Yeah.
They didn't have any children.
Oh, they didn't have fun.
And then, what happened? I think Frank must have found that there was a branch of the people that he used to work for and had worked for in East Africa until he left and got the job and missed that out. He got a job in the post office because he would come to see me at lunchtime. It was too far to go home to lunch. And he would come to me at lunchtime, and some of the engineers who were delighted to have a girl take down their letters after not having anybody like that, and they'd sit on, and he would come in, so they'd go, and then they'd come in another day and they'd say, "Has the light of your life come in yet?" He got to known as Pearl's Light, got to be known as Pearl's Light.
Very good.
Yes. So he got a better job, you see.
Right.
He got a better job with the post office, with a contract. And all the things that went with the contract. The 5.5 days a month that you accrued, the paid home leave back with after you'd done a certain amount of months with that kind of pay, which went further in England than it did over there. Vacation leave every year down to Mombasa and back. A house when they built houses. Some other thing. Some medical. That was a good thing. But he lost it all when we decided to leave, you see. So then he found his old place, and they had a business in Cardiff. So he signed on then.
And then how did you manage to come to Australia? What notion did you take coming to Australia?
For Frank, it was the fact that he couldn't see. He couldn't see the point of leaving the car in the garage, and I wouldn't use it every day. I'd only use it once a week, kind of thing, because I knew all the old shops. My mother used to come often. She would always look after the children. So he would drive the car. Now this car we'd brought over with us. So if he had a car, he would give everybody else. Now they wouldn't pay him car allowance. And he's giving other people lifts, you see. You know, why would you wait for the bus and your feet would freeze? The kids hated school. It was too cold for them.
They were used to.
The school was 5 miles away. They used to wait for a bus. No Catholic school where we lived. Loved the little house where Tom had lived with us to begin with. He lived with us for 18 months, I think. Yeah. Kids liked Tom. My mother did.
He'd worked in Scotland a short time before that, had he?
Yeah, but he didn't like it there. And he wrote down to us. And my brother said, tell him to come down, I'll give him a job. Yeah.
So you came to Australia then?
So just, and I'll have to end after this because I'm keeping you up.
Keeping us up, no.
Yourself up.
This is very interesting. This is as good as watching the TV.
What about Parkinson?
Yeah, you're missing Parkinson.
Oh, after this we'll watch Parkinson. Yeah. We used to get the Daily Express, and every Thursday the Daily Express promoted Australia. We also knew a family who had come home. They had twin boys. They had come home about the same time, but not on the same flight. I think they'd gone by sea. We could have gone by sea, but it was too long to look after kids and run around. So we decided flying was the best thing. We came back in a Comet. A Comet airplane.
Yeah, that's
First one, second time we were in a Bristol bomber. That was a lovely one. And they decided to go to Australia, this other couple, because the man had a brother. And they used to write back once in a while and say how good it was. And in the Daily Express, every Thursday, there'd be recipes, there'd be stories, there'd be pictures. I used to read this. I think, oh dear. And gradually we came to the idea that we would try it. Took a while. I didn't let my mother and my father know until we went for our medicals. And they asked us a few things why we wanted to go. And we think we couldn't understand why they chose us. We thought, well, they need souls. Here's 7 going all in a lump kind of thing. And then eventually we got to know we were accepted, told mother and father. They were most upset. They could see my brother wasn't going to have any children, and they hoped my sister did, but she never did. I think there's something wrong with them inside. I do honestly think they got twisted up. I don't think my sister's got a uterus. She hasn't got too many of those up top, anyhow. And my brother couldn't have any children. It just didn't happen. We sailed just before Christmas. And my brother, bless his heart, had bought 5, 7, 9, 10, 11 seats in the front row for us to see the pantomime. You had to give them in. We'd gone.
What date was that? What year was that? Yeah, before Christmas.
61, 62, 63, 64, 65.
Mhm.
We arrived here on the 12th of February, 65, 64,
I think it's 65, you said yesterday.
65,
Was that into Sydney you come?
yes.
You don't remember the name of the boat that you sailed on?
Come on.
I do remember it, but I can't bring it to mind. They made another one like it's, oh, the Oriana. The Oriana.
And you settled in Epping, did you, right away?
Epping.
You were there for how long?
Well, no, we were in Ryde.
Mhm.
This other person who we were writing to, he gave us, he had seen where there was a house that was going to be let. Yes, and he had organised it, but we got in so late that we had to stay with him the night. And next day we went to this other little house. Really wasn't any size. And then as soon as we got the children into school, I would go looking. And Frank went back to Frank, I told you, he fell into the job. The other man worked in this firm. He was a good friend to us.
Yes.
He arranged an interview.
Yes.
So Frank got the job.
And what was that in per?
Changed his name. It was called Telephone and Electrical Industries. And that was in a place called Meadowbank. So he used to travel to Meadowbank and he would take the boys to the Marist Brothers School on the way. The little girls walked down to the school, to Our Lady Helper Christians. Yeah.
Very good.
And you stayed there. When did you come up to the Kerry Bay? That's your last question. When was
How
that?
long were you here?
How long were you here?
I'm here now.
Did you say 50?
Oh yeah, 1990.
1990.
1990.
So 16 years.
Christmas 1990. Well, when the end of the year will be.
Thank you very much.
That's the life and times of Mrs. Pearl McMullan.
And what was your own surname?
Milsom,
Milsom.
with an M both ends. Milsom. It's Milsom Street in Bath. We took my father there one time. Marlon and Pat and I did. Took him there to Milsom pub in Milsom Street. He didn't drink at all, but he had a smile on his face.
Thank you.